Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's live. I'm really, really excited because we're going to be diving into the world of business services. So whether you are already running an established business, or you're just getting started with your business, or you are thinking about starting a business, we have got a lot of helpful tools and resources and advice for you here today. So my name is Audrey, and joining me today is our special guest, Crystal Damian. She is our business services manager here at Shell FCU. She's going to be lending us her expertise as we dive into all the different topics we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about business accounts. We're going to talk about lending options, digital banking for business owners, and lots of more good stuff. So thank you so much for being here, Crystals. I'm glad to have you.
Thank y'all for having me. Very excited. As Audrey mentioned, I'm the business services manager here at Shell Federal Credit Union, and just excited to share anything business. So
yes,
to be here.
So as we go through the live, feel free to drop any questions that you have in the comments, and we will save some time at the end to get to any questions that you guys have. So you ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, so let's really quickly start off by talking about the relationship that Shell FCU has with its business owner members. So business owners aren't just looking for products, they're really looking for a partner to go along that journey with them. So can you speak on how Shell FCU partners with business owners?
Absolutely. So here at Shell Federal Credit Union, we like to strive for great member service, and we're truly people helping people. We love to help our business members be able to either start their business or be able to, have their business grow. When they come to us, we see them as family. So always giving them guidance. We're very involved in the community and trying to help our small business owners, just achieve that next goal. So coming to us, providing them guidance, whatever knowledge we have, we like to pour onto them. Yes. So just sharing that and being able to build that partnership where they can trust us, and they know that they have that partnership here with Shell Federal Credit Union.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and I love that it's very much a partnership first approach, because starting a business is scary. There's a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot that goes into it. So I love that we have that that mentality when we're working with our members that are business owners. So let's kind of just get down to basics. We're going to get into the nitty gritty a little bit here. So we're going to talk about business accounts first. So why is having a business account so important for a small business?
So several things, right? It's important to have a business account to be able to separate your personal expenses from your business expenses. That is one of the biggest things that we always advise our members is open that business account and try to have everything that it's gonna be with the business, either those revenues that are gonna come in or those expenses, run it through your business account. So that whenever it comes to, bookkeeping, it's neat and clean. You know that this is the account that you need to look at. Not only that, but whenever you're applying for a loan and they're wanting to look at those business bank statements, it's essential for a lender to be able to see, okay, what is it that the business is making? What is it that the business is expensing? What expenses is it that, we need to account for here? And so having those separated, it really helps for that piece of it. And also tax reporting, whenever you gotta report your taxes, being able to know, okay, these are the expenses that the business needs to write off. That's essential. So having those separate, it's always, something that we always tell our business members to do.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. So between a business account and a personal account, are there any major differences between those two accounts, the way they work or anything like that?
Great question. So, a checking account, personal and business, is going to work the same. You're still going to have your debit card. You're going to have your online access to that checking account. But where the difference is going to be is where those expenses that you're going to be able to do through bill pay, right?
Okay.
Or wanting to link your account to some type of bookkeeping software. So having those things where the differences are going to lie.
Okay.
But whenever, we get some business members that have questions like, oh, is this going to, be a lot more complex for me to be able to handle? Absolutely not. If you have a checking account now on the personal side, you are going to be just fine opening that business checking account and being able to know that you're going to be able to manage that just as easily as you are able to manage your personal checking account.
Great. So not scary.
Not scary at all.
So what kinds of business accounts? Are there different types of business accounts that we have here at Shell FCU?
Yes, actually we do. So we have our basic, business checking account. There's no charge for that. The minimum deposit to open that business account is $50, and really that is not a fee. That's just to activate your account. So it's money that goes into the account that you'll be able to use once it's activated. And then we have our Business Premier Checking. That one earns a little bit of higher rate, but it does come with the restrictions. So first, I'm going to go through the business checking account just so our viewers can have a little bit of information on that. So the business checking account, like I mentioned, is just a $50 deposit that will activate the account. There's no monthly fees. There's no minimum balance that you need to keep in there at all. And there's no amount of transactions that you need to, do in that account. So if you do just one transaction that month, or if you do 500 transactions that month, there's not going to be a fee. Okay. You have a debit card, you will have online access to that, and you'll be able to use the business bill pay that comes with it as well. And then our Business Premier Checking, like I mentioned, that one does earn a little bit of a higher dividend rate, but there is some requirements for that one. So the minimum deposit for that is $500. Again, it's not a fee, it's just to activate the account. And for that one to earn the stated annual percentage yield, you do have to have an average daily balance of $10,000. So if it's that business where the gross revenues are higher and you're able to keep that $10,000 to earn that higher yield, then maybe this checking account will be better for you. Again, just like our business checking account, you get a debit card, you have online access, so all of those perks that come with the basic business checking will be available with the Premier Checking as well. Yeah, so lots of good things that come with ours, and like I mentioned, there's no fees. So no fees with our checking account.
Love that. Love that. That's a major draw. Yeah. And then so what requirements, if someone was going to open up a business account, what requirements are there for opening that up?
Yeah, so the account, for the checking account, there is some back-end requirements, like we have to run what's called check systems, and there's a score that the business member does need to have. But as far as that would be on the owner to be able to open that checking account. But for you to be able to come to us, we'll just need your business registration document. So if you're going to have just an assumed name or what's also known as a DBA, we'll bring that in along with any IRS documentation, and then 2 forms of ID for that individual, and that's what we'll need to open that account. So it's just going to depend on the type of entity and those business documents. We do have a list of documents and basically a needs list, if you would like, that states based on the type of entity. You're able to find that on our website under account information. So
nice. Okay. Perfect.
Readily available.
Thank you. And so are there any specific types of saving accounts that are meant specifically for business owners, or is it just the checking accounts?
No, we actually also have savings account here. So we have a business savings account. The minimum to open that is $10. Now, I would like for everybody to know that with here at Shell Photo Credit Union, you do become a member. So your business becomes a member of the credit union, right? So you do have to open a business membership savings. It's a $10 deposit for that account. No monthly fees, no minimum balance that you need to keep up with that savings. That establishes the membership. And then once we open that membership savings for that business, you're able to open the checking account or any other products that we have. There's no limit to the amount of savings account that a member can have. So if you want to have one savings for maybe your, taxes that it's going to be due, you can have that. If you want to have another savings for whatever goals you want to have later on, like maybe you want to do an expansion and you want to have a separate savings for that, we're absolutely able to do that for you. So there's different savings that you can have. In addition, I also wanted to mention that we also have other accounts that are like a money market.
Oh, okay.
So these accounts are almost like a checking, but it's a little bit different. These are interest-bearing accounts, and the member or the owner can put in the money into this account. They'll earn a higher dividend on that, and you're able to write checks on this account. So if you want to have something separate that still earns you a higher dividend and be able to have access to it here and there, maybe a money market would be great for that business member. And in addition to those, we also offer shared certificates, so also known as CDs, if you would say. These accounts are similar to a savings account, and a member can choose the term that they want to open that for. It starts at 6 months and can go all the way up to 5 years. And the minimum amount to deposit into these CDs are $500, and then they can go up to as much as they want to.
Okay.
And they earn a higher dividend. So this is great for those business members that maybe have that extra liquidity that they're not needing to touch or use at this time, but they want to invest in and maybe earn a little bit of higher dividend. Looking at these CDs are a great option because you can, in a sense, lock it in for a specific amount of time that you know that you're not going to need it for, and then earn a higher dividend. But you know that your money is secure, it's safe here at Shell Federal Credit Union. Now, if the member does, because, we know things happen and there might be a need for that, they're always able to do what's called an early withdrawal. Now, there is a little penalty for that, and then once that that time comes, we can always let them know what that's going to look like because it's going to depend on the amount. But they are able to do an early withdrawal if needed, if something was to arise.
Okay. So there's a lot of different options for people based on their needs and their goals. So if I was a business owner and I wasn't sure which account I should open or which set of accounts I should open, what would your advice be for me?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that we always like to ask our members is, what is your goals? What is it that you're wanting to accomplish right now? If, I just need somewhere to put my money in, right? We're going to say, okay, perfect. So you come to the right spot at Shell Federal Credit Union. Let's get you started with a savings and a checking account. Now, if your goal is to maybe earn a little bit of interest, then we're going to be talking about maybe doing a CD or a money market account. So it's always wanting to know what is it that your goals are and where is it that you're wanting to go. So
perfect.
Those are the advice that I would give you based on your goals.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about business loans and the different credit options that we have for business owners. So what loan options do we have here at Shell for businesses?
Yeah, so that's one of our favorite topics here. So the loans that we have are term loans. Those are, in a sense, quote unquote, like a personal loan for the business, right? So we have term loans. These, again, if you've had a personal loan out before, these work just the same. It's set for a specific term with a fixed interest rate. You can have low monthly payments. There's no repayment penalty. So if you pay it off early, there's no penalties there. There's no collateral required. The amount is going to be based on, obviously, cash flows, credit, and all of that good stuff. But it's easy to apply for. And we have that availability here. We also offer credit cards. And we also offer lines of credit. Those are all with the term loan, the credit card, and the lines of credit are all unsecured products that we have here in our business lending. Okay. So again, going back to the term loan, the funds can be used for anything. So if you have a project that you need to do, maybe you need to fix up the location that you have. we can look at doing that. The line of credit is just essentially like a credit card, but without the card.
Okay.
A lot of members like to use this option because you can use it again for anything. It's available in your online banking. If you ever have a need, maybe you need to buy additional supplies, inventory, you're able to withdraw from your line of credit and put those funds into a business checking account.
Oh, okay.
And you can use this for anything. If you're not using your line of credit, that is fine. There's no payment due. There's no interest charge. If your line of credit is at zero balance, it just stays there available until you aren't needing to use that line of credit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we also have that option, and there's no annual fee. There's no annual fee for a
Wow.
line of credit.
That's great.
Sometimes with having a business, there's a lot of fees that come with
Yes.
either lending or accounts. That's one of the things that here at Show, there's no annual fee for the line of credit. We have favorable interest rates. Our rates are pretty good, and there's no minimal withdrawal amounts. So some lenders may say you need to withdraw at a minimum of this amount. There's no minimum amount that you need to withdraw on. And then you have, like I mentioned earlier, you always have access to the line of credit through your digital banking. So as long as you go onto your business digital banking, you'll be able to withdraw from the line of credit and move those funds over to the checking account or wherever you wish.
Cool. Yeah. And we're going to talk about digital banking in more detail in
Yes.
just a little while. So.
Yeah, and so the other one that, of course, I mentioned was the credit card that is also an unsecured product. And just like a line of credit, you always have it available, right? But you'll have a card. And then the interest rates are just depending on where the rates are at that time. It is a revolving account, and you're able to use it for pretty much anything that has to do with your business expenses. But one of the things that I like to talk about that is very unique on our business credit cards is that if you're one of those business that maybe you have drivers or you have other personnel that needs to have access to that card and you want to give them a card for whatever expenses, you're able to do that. We're able to issue those cards to whatever personnel you wish, when you entrust to run these extra expenses for you. And you're able to set whatever limit. So maybe you have a driver that needs to be purchasing gas every so often for your trucking business, and you
Yeah.
want to give them a limit of maybe $500. We're able to segregate a specific card for that driver.
Oh, that's so convenient.
And again, no fees there. So that's something that is able for our business owners to be able to have, and you're not limited to having to maybe deposit every so often. You're able to give them that card and be able to really clean out those expenses and be able to segregate that expense for that, and you're able to keep track of those expenses as well.
Oh, cool. So how if you have the employee cards or the personnel cards, I'm maybe jumping ahead of myself a little bit because we are going to talk about digital banking in a minute, but how would they show up separately in the digital banking so that you could easily see like this expense was from this card and this expense was from this card?
So great question. So whenever the business member, and I know you mentioned that we're going to be talking about it here in a little bit, but whenever they log into their online banking, they'll be able to see every card that is out there.
Oh, okay.
Along with the main account that is going to hold everything, but every additional card that is out there, they'll be able to see that.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. And you mentioned that the ones that you have talked about so far are the unsecured
Yes.
loans. So what is the difference between an unsecured and a secured loan? And do we have any options for secured loans for business owners?
Yes. So unsecured means that there's nothing for collateral, right? We are not tying anything to this loan, so it is truly unsecured. You're applying for the loan, line of credit or credit card, and we're giving you that money that we're entrusting you and lending you those funds with nothing to put on the table for that. And then we do have secured loans available. So let's start off with two that we offer. One is called a shared secured. And these loans are loans that maybe a business member wants to have quick access, doesn't want to go, through a large underwriting or anything like that, or maybe they just want to have a lower rate because these loans have a much lower rate. So a shared secured essentially is a loan against your own funds that you have in a savings account. If a member has a large liquidity, they know they're not going to touch it, but they don't want to also withdraw it. What we do is that we freeze the amount, whatever amount that member wants to do, and we'll do a loan against it. And then we'll do it just similar to a term loan. We'll set it for a specific amount of time, and they'll have those low monthly payments that they can pay on that. That way, like I mentioned, they get a lower rate. They didn't have to withdraw the funds from the savings account. The amount stays there, so you still earn interest on those.
Oh.
And then you're able to use those funds for whatever you need. The other option is the certificate secured. So if you have funds into the CD and you're wanting to use those funds for a loan, but you know that you still have maybe another year or 5 years to go on that CD because you locked it for a specific amount of time, then we're able to use those funds still and do a loan against that CD. And you would earn a lower interest rate as well on that. And you can use the funds just like normal on anything that you wish, whether that's supplies, inventory, working capital, whatever you need, you're able to use that for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tons of different options depending on your needs. I love that.
Yes.
What considerations? So if again, if I'm a business owner and I'm thinking about choosing one of these types of loans, what considerations should me or business owners have when they're thinking about which loan option they would like to go with?
Yeah, and some of the other, and I'm sorry, Audrey, I didn't mention here, but some of the other secured loans that we also have is we have auto loans, we have commercial auto loans as well, and we have what's called other collateral, which could be equipment loans.
Oh, okay.
So just depending, we also offer those loans here. So if you're needing to purchase a vehicle for your business, maybe you have a bakery business and you need to transport those baked goods, or maybe you're a truck driver and you need to purchase another tractor for those that are in the trucking industry. We offer those type of loans here, so and at a great rate. And as mentioned again, no fees there, so no fees to apply as well.
Oh, great.
So it just depends, whenever you're needing, what is it that you're trying to do? Are you needing to get an additional driver because maybe you have a lot of clientele that needs goods delivered? We would, advise you to do an auto loan. So just kind of looking at what is it that goes. It kind of goes back to our previous conversation. But let me talk a little bit about our auto loans. So we do have auto loans that go up to our business auto can go all the way up to 84 months, and our commercial vehicles can go all the way up to 120 months. So it's just going to depend on the collateral, the year, make, model, the miles, all of that good stuff that kind of is on the back end. But we would let the member know what they qualified for. And like I mentioned, we also have other collateral loans, which is our equipment loans. We have several members use this whenever they need to purchase trailers for maybe their trucks so they can deliver those goods or services. We'll have those equipment loans or other collateral loans available.
Oh, yeah.
So again, we have really good favorable interest rates and no fees and really good terms. So we'll always look at what is it that's going to be good for you, for your business? What cash flows is it that the business is able to support for these payments? So we'll look at a lot of that on the back end and make sure that we work with the member to ensure that the payments that we do, the payments that they're going to be paying are going to be good, and that we love to see our members grow their business. So we always are happy whenever we're able to help them with those business lending options.
Oh yeah, I love that. Again, back to the partnership aspect of it.
Absolutely.
I love that. So what is the application process like for applying for a loan?
Yeah, so thank you. So for those, we do set them by appointment only. So what will happen is that if you inquire, you can come into any of our branches or call in. And what we'll do is we'll set up an initial call, kind of like a scope call if you would like. We'll talk about what is it, the goals that you're wanting to do, what is it that you're trying to accomplish here. Then we'll talk about the application, which one should you apply for, which one is it that the member's wanting to apply for. Then we'll go over what information we'll need as far as, because we'll need some numbers, right? So we'll need to know gross revenues, net income there, other aspects that we'll have to ask. So we'll go over those details, then we'll set up an appointment time. For the most part, our appointments are always over the phone, so no need to drive over to our Deer Park branch, which I know it's our, I guess, our corporate location, if you will. That is where our business department is housed at, but no need to drive all the way over here. We'll do those applications over the phone, and then the business member can always email any of those documents. The application does take about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to go through, but we'll explain everything in detail. That is the reason why it does take a little bit longer, but we'll submit the application, and then from there, it does go over to our underwriting team. Our underwriting team will do the review, let us know the decision on that, and then if it's approved, we'll contact the member, let them know you've been approved. We'll do our happy dance, if you will, and then we'll go over the terms and all of that good stuff to finalize that loan for them. So It's a pretty easy process. We try to do it as simplified as possible and try to avoid any hassle for the member. So we'll always like to set those expectations up at the scope call and let them know of those items that we'll need.
Yeah, and that's perfect as well, because as the member is going through the application, they can also be speaking to someone that can give them expertise on, which one is best for them based on their goals. And I think that's really great. Thank you. So we talked a little bit about the lines of credit, and credit cards, but what are some of the benefits of having a Shell FCU business credit card?
Yeah, so some of the the benefits, of having the card is one, again, there's no annual fees for selected tiers, right? So for the most part, there's no fees, no amount of maximum with transactions that you need to do on there. There is low rates. You have access to that through your digital banking. There's account monitoring that you're able to do. So a lot of good benefits that come from that. And like I mentioned, if you need to issue an additional card for personnel that needs to have those expenses run, for you, we're able to also do that.
Okay. And how does a credit card fit into the picture with loans? So what is the difference or the reasoning of getting, for example, a credit card instead of a loan, or vice versa?
So the credit card, the reason why it fits with loans is because we still are lending you. Mm-hmm. You still are getting credit by getting a credit card. So essentially, it's almost like we're giving you a line of credit, like I mentioned earlier, but now you have a card. So it's a revolving account. You're able to access, like I mentioned, 24/7, you have access to your credit card. Now, what is the reasoning behind getting one over the other? Again, we go back to those goals. So let's just say you're wanting to purchase a vehicle loan. We wouldn't tell you to get a credit card for a vehicle loan,
right?
Because that would be a separate triplet loan that you would want to have, right? Okay. You would want to have an auto loan. So that's where the differences come. So it depends on the goal. So if you're wanting to purchase an auto loan, then we would talk about doing an auto loan. The low rates that we have on that auto loan, like I mentioned, you would get a lower rate. So just depending on those. So those are kind of the benefits of one over the other, is that the auto loan would give you a lower rate. We would set up a specific term for you to be able to pay off. And then if you're just wanting a card so you can run your expenses, maybe purchase inventory, supplies, then we would tell you, okay, let's apply for the credit card, or maybe a line of credit. So always going based off the needs and goals that the business has.
Perfect. We keep coming back to that, which I love, which is keep coming back to what are your needs? What are your goals? Because there are so many options for business owners. So it's awesome that Shell can kind of like help with, figuring out which option is best for you and your specific goals. So We talked a little bit about the employee credit cards. So you are able to issue credit cards to like personnel or employees that
Yes.
you that need to have a credit card for whatever reason.
Yes.
So that is super helpful, and I think that's like really helpful. I also love that it's organized in the digital banking. I think that's really, really helpful for just keeping things all clear. And but what does the application process look like for a credit card specifically?
So for a credit card, it's almost simple to the business loan. The application process will do the scope call, kind of know, okay, what is it that the amount that you're wanting to do the credit card will give you the limits that we are able to do. We'll get all your information, business information, let you know if we need any documentation there, and then we'll set up a time to go over the application process. But for that one, again, it's very simple. We'll do everything over the phone, try to simplify it and keep it hassle-free. So again, it will go through our business services department. They're the ones that handle all the applications there, but very similar like the before. We'll set up that time during our scope call, and then we'll go over all the details and set up an appointment to go over the application.
Perfect. So we've been mentioning digital banking here and mentioning digital banking there. So
Yes.
let's finally get into it. So tell us all about the digital banking features and benefits for business owners.
Yeah, so the features is that with that, the member is able to track, monitor their accounts, ensure that, you know, everything's in line, always having that access. And then one of the features that I absolutely love is that our business members are able to have business bill pay. And with that business bill pay, not only are you able to pay companies, or maybe you're needing to pay individuals like vendors that you work with, but you're also able to pay your employees through that digital banking and at no cost extra. So
wow.
this simplifies check writing. No more writing checks. You're able to go in, include whatever employees you're going to pay. Obviously, you're going to need account information for them, but you'll be able to put them in there and then set them up to have direct deposit.
Wow,
So
that
makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I love that it's all right there in one spot. That's very, very convenient. So what about for business owners who need to be able to take payments from customers? So if that is, you know, the nature of your business is you're taking payments, what features does digital banking offer for that specific scenario?
So if they want to take payments, one of the things that they can do is that we have a merchant service that we work for, and they're able to do invoicing. So you're able to create an invoice, send it out to those individuals. They're able to click on that, and then they're able to just kind of pay through there, whether it's a credit card, and then submit that information through there, so you can go through that. That option will more so go through our merchant services that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. But we do have that option if they're wanting to do invoicing.
Cool. So let's go ahead and talk about the merchant services.
Yes.
If you could share a little bit about what that is and how it works and what can it be used for.
Yeah, so we offer a full suite of merchant service designated to support businesses of all sizes, whether you're a small business or you've already, been in the game for a long time. Merchant services kind of has you covered, right? So you're able to take payments. It's a payment solution software where you're able to have a point of sale. So if you need somebody to, pay with a credit card or, like I mentioned, do invoicing, you're able to do that. We are partnered with Elavon. And so we are able to have that option for you. So
Okay.
I know a lot of members want to be able to accept credit cards, payments, or things like that. We do have those options here.
Great.
And not only that, but members are also able to set up custom QR codes. So with that QR code, a customer can scan that QR code and submit the amount that they're needing to pay to that small
Oh,
business. So
wow.
it makes it easy. I know we have a lot of small business owners that may do like pop-up shops or things like that where they're, go to different markets, and they're able to set up these QR codes so they can, hey, somebody can easily scan that QR code and send, the amount that for whatever they purchase. So
Oh, that's
just
perfect.
simple and easy, right? So
Yeah.
that all comes. And then let me talk about the equipment. So we have equipment of all sizes, from small card readers to what would be a full suite that would come with a cash drawer, scanners. We can have kitchen printers. So if somebody puts in an order at the front, your cooks can get that receipt and know what they're going to be cooking. So a lot of times
Wow.
you see these things at restaurants. We're able to service that as well. We have those options here available.
Wow, that's really convenient. I guess when you look at businesses and stuff, you never really think about like how did they get the card reader? Like where did that come from?
Yes.
So no, that's really cool that that's something that's offered.
Yeah, and so again, it's really neat. We can walk depending on, again, it goes back to what needs and what are your goals,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We're not going to set up a business member that maybe has a trucking business with a kitchen receipt printer, right? Because that just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So we always want to talk about what is it that your needs are, who is your clientele, how is it that you take in payments now, and let's try to simplify that process for you. So
Perfect.
we'll go over those products and options that we have available.
Perfect. Really one-stop shop for all financial needs,
Yes.
banking, credit, loans. That's one-stop shop. So I've kind of asked you something similar, but we've gotten a lot of really, really valuable information. Crystal, thank you so much. But let's just kind of break it down. So I'm a business owner. I'm about to start a business and I want to partner with Shell FCU. What is my first step that I need to do to get started?
Okay, so first step is we're going to talk about, okay, what type of business is it that you're wanting to open, and have you already registered it? Sometimes we get business members that haven't registered the business yet. So depending, we'll give them the options. Like I mentioned earlier, there's sole proprietors, assumed name or DBA, if you would call it. Those are all the same. Then there's an LLC or limited liability company. There's also corporations or limited liability partnerships. So we'll give you what we know in regards to each entity and which one is it that would maybe best fit you. So we'll, give you information. And if you haven't registered, we'll give you information of where to go to register. Now, Shell Federal Credit Union cannot register the business for you.
Okay.
But we'll give you information as to where you should go to register the business. Again, depending on the type of business that you're wanting to start up and establish. So we'll give you that information if you're ever needing that. And then from there, we'll get you started with starting up first and foremost your business membership savings account, so your business can become a member of Shell Federal Credit Union. And then we'll get you started with the checking account so you can get your debit card and get you situated with an account where those revenues can start coming in.
Perfect. Thank you so much for all of your expertise. We've gotten some lovely hellos in the chat. So hi everyone. Thank you for your well wishes. But I think that's pretty much what we have. That is so much good information. I learned a lot. I didn't know all of the things that we offered, and so I'm really appreciative to you for sharing all of that with myself and with our members and our viewers. So thank you so much for being with us today. Crystal, thank you for all of your insight. And for those of you who are watching, be sure and follow us online across our social media channels for more educational content and more updates.
Yes.
So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I would just also say, if y'all have any questions, because I know some business members are always busy running around running a business. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to always go to our website at shellfcu.org. We have a business tab on there that has a lot of information about our products and services, as well as any helpful information and resources that we have available to you. So please please utilize that to your advantage to get any information that you may need from there. And as always, if you want a person to talk to, we are here. We're located at the Deer Park branch, aka our corporate office. But feel free to stop at any of our branches or call in if you have any questions to anything that we covered today.
Perfect. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you.